So let's start the class. So last week, I think maybe it's up to 2 weeks now that we started this. Let me share the YouTube link. Sorry, I want to share the YouTube link. Okay. Okay, so the last time when we met, let me confirm. Can you all hear me? Please confirm. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the last time when we met, we had a look at the unseen. So we're considering May 2025, the last diet case study question. And then we walked ourselves through the necessary exhibits in the unseen. So all the exhibits, all the 5 exhibits in the unseen, in the present rather, sorry, in the present, all the 5 exhibits in the present. So, and then giving some points, necessary information, and the likes. So this week, we are going to continue with the unseen parts. So let me just move to the unseen part so that we will start from there and then take the lead. So for the advantage of those people that are joining this class for the first time, maybe you did not join the first and second class. The first class, we only had the general introduction of case study paper, the case study exam, the necessary information that we need to know. Then last class, which was last week, we started the case study practical solution to a case study past question. And then we used that of May 2025 diets. So as you can see, every case study paper is divided into 2. The present parts, which was the one for this diet was out yesterday or a day before yesterday. Yeah. And the unseen parts, the present and the unseen. So we have walked ourselves through all the necessary things we need to know in the present. And there was, I think I dropped, after this class, I'm going to drop that notes again, those class notes that we made for us to actually do our further study. We went through that after I dropped that after the class. So I'm still going to drop it for people that did not join initially so that they can also go through. To save our time, let's move to the unseen information. In the unseen, you can see that the exhibits continued, right? The exhibits continued from where it stops. In the present, we have 5 exhibits. In the unseen, we also have 5 exhibits. And List of exhibits. Said the following exhibits are newly provided and did not form part of the material provided as present. Exhibit 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So what are the exhibits? Exhibit 6, email from Tarfa Gambari to Matthew Idemudia. Exhibit 7, Defcon Manufacturing Limited, 2024 draft financial statements. Exhibit 8, Defcon Manufacturing Limited, explanatory notes on 2024 draft financial statements. Exhibit 9, new products developments. Exhibit 10, letter from Federal Consumers Protection Agency. Those are the 5 exhibits in the unseen. So we are going to be taking them one after another so that we would identify how we are going to start and what we should do first. So now let's move on. This is just a preliminary information in the unseen, so it's really not necessary. So let's move to exhibit 6. I need a volunteer to read for us, the way we did the other time. I need a volunteer to read for us. Someone should raise hand. Let me call. Who is volunteering? Okay, I can see Chinyere hand up. Chinyere, can you unmute yourself and lead us through?
Yes.
I hope your background, there is no noise.
No, there is no noise.
And you will be audible, right?
I'll try.
You have to.
Right.
Oh, yeah, let's.
Email from Tafa Gabari to Matthew Idemudia. From
Guys, can you hear her?
Gabari.
You sure?
Thank you.
Okay,
all right.
Continue.
I'll proceed. From Tafa Gabari, sent 17th April 2025 to Matthew Idemudia. Subject: review of draft financial statements and product development. You are welcome back from your holiday, and I hope you found enough time to rest.
Sorry, who is sorry for cutting you short. From our last class, right? For those people that joined, who is Tarfa Gambari and who is Matthew Idemudia? I need an answer. Who is Tarfa Gambari and who is Matthew Idemudia?
Tarfa Gambari is the company's director of finance.
Okay. And Matthew?
Tarfa Gambari is my name. And Tarfa. Sorry,
the first person that answered, can you complete your answer? Sorry. That first person, can you complete your answer? Tarfa Gambari is the director of finance. Okay, who is Matthew?
Yes, Matthew is the one writing the report.
Matthew is you?
Yes, you.
That's the answer I need. You are Matthew Idemudia. Do you guess now? Matthew is you that you are writing the exam. That is your name in 4 hours. Okay, let's continue. Chinyere, continue.
All right. You are welcome back from your holiday, and I hope you found enough time to rest. As you know, we are now in our peak period in the office, as we need to prepare for the board meeting coming up in May. The company's draft financial statements have just been submitted to me, and I will want you to carry out a review of the same, as this will form the basis of my report to the board. You will recollect that the company is currently on an expansion drive, and I've added some products to its line during the year. Please scroll.
For the advantage of those people joining, continue.
It has also taken some long-term loan to finance this expansion. I herewith supply you with few points that will be relevant when reviewing the financial statements. I have attached these as an appendix to the financial statements. Also, as the company's response to the environmental concern and the green revolution, it is proposing to introduce 2 eco-friendly products, BioDAP and BioPad. The marketing director has provided details about this project, which I am also attaching to this email. You are to evaluate the products and provide reports on whether they have a positive contribution to the company's bottom line after considering all relevant costs. I want you to submit to me a report on the assignment in 2 weeks ahead of the board meeting. Your report should include a stance for inclusion in an advocacy paper for the board review and a subsequent approval soliciting government's expansion of the national development policy to accommodate the sector, given its considerable potential contribution to the national economy, and while identifying the incentives that will bring about a realization of the gains from the sector. B, a review of the draft financial statement covering management performance on profitability, liquidity, and financial management and operational efficiency. You are to take into consideration the explanatory notes on the financial statement attached to the draft financial statement. C, evaluation of the 2 proposed products to show possible contribution towards the company's bottom line after taking cognizance of all relevant costs. D, an extract to be included in the company's annual sustainability report and your advice to the board on how to address the potential challenges, considering DEFCON's response to the environmental or sustainability concern, together with the letter from the Federal Consumer Protection Agency, from the perspective of DEFCON's profitability and sustainability. I attach herewith Exhibit 7 to 10 in connection with the assignment. Also, if you check your files, you will see details about the economy and Nigerian business environment. The Nigerian diaper and sanitary pad industry, together with the company's response to environmental and sustainability concern, all they should be able to assist you in drafting your reports. I look forward to receiving your reports. Tafa.
Tarfa. Thank you. Let's address these exhibits. You see, please write it down. This is the most important exhibit in your case study paper. I repeat, the most relevant exhibits in the whole of the exhibits, in the unseen and preseen exhibits taken together. And you know why it is important? The reason is because this is the exhibit that is carrying your requirements. It is the exhibit that is telling you what to do. Okay, let's break it down further. A few seconds. Okay, sorry, let's continue. So this is the exhibit that carries your requirements. So now let's move. Exhibit 6. So this is the requirements exhibit. It's very, very important. So in this exhibit, what are we bringing out? And mind you, I'm going to advise you, right? The first thing you should do by the time you get your case study question paper, we are still going to, after we read all the exhibits and want to start solving, I'm still going to tell you, I'm going to walk you through the necessary process, the step on how to deliver a good case study answer and how you'll be able to manage your time effectively in the examination hall. But let's finish the exhibits. As we have adopted, we are taking the exhibits one after another, right? So, and this is very, very important. Exhibit 6. What is exhibit 6 telling us? Exhibit 6, let me take it back there, is the exhibit for the requirements. This is the exhibit where examiner tells you his requirements. Do you understand? That's number one. Number two, this is the exhibit telling you who you are addressing to.
We lost him, right?
Yes.
Sorry, am I the only one not seeing the screen?
No, you are not. We are waiting. I think
Not the
it's
only
okay.
one. I think the screen at the lecturer. Don't know where they are.
This important lecture now, devil they won't work for federal government. Now wow.
To see you. It's a liar. Ah, God have mercy.
Hello, everyone. Please, who will help me? I don't pay for 5 papers, but I never ready for one. In case anybody will go help my life, make I learn something. This today, sef, where I get time, make I listen to lecture. Devil no gree allow me, I beg.
God go help us, though.
No be
Boss,
only
they go let
you
you.
guys like bad.
I
No
miss
be you
together.
alone.
God help us.
Your body
So,
will,
hi, pressure don't be high.
You are not different from every other person. Now they worry you, they worry everybody.
As the day is getting closer, the tension is increasing. God help us.
There are only
You forget
one
state first so you feel right now. You go carry all of them.
It doesn't matter.
Baba, don't pay since. Nah, I think I go ready.
It's
You
not a
even
must say
find
you
that
like the 05.
very well. That's the one you will pass. To your mind, the one you feel you did not perform very well, that's the one you will pass.
Don't see.
So I can get one devil where anybody no just understand. Just do your best and leave the rest for God.
last, everybody go there, all right.
Yes,
sure.
so
Now just time go all chatter. Me wanna know.
For sure.
sincerely, not just time.
Honestly, I don't care. Have you to notice this? Any
Yes,
paper
I've
that you
noticed.
feel that you didn't write very well is the one that you will pass. And the one that you
Yes.
say, I can go and mark this anywhere. They will come
That
and they
was
will even give you one ridiculous mark, 27.
that
Yes.
was my FR. I think yes. I just wrote the FR up that I'm coming back to write the FR. Only for the results to come out and I passed. In fact, come and see the way I shouted. Yeah, I checked the results. So I beg. And the ones that you felt my CSME, the first time I wrote it, I felt there is no way they will mark that CSME that will not pass. Yeah, back
No
to
be
standard.
lie.
So just do your
Honestly,
best. Don't
I need help
That,
on
that, that,
triple A,
that
I
is why
beg.
I can say spiritual. Funny
that is why
people.
it's calling ICANN.
one thing is
Please,
don't do.
please, who has a
Anybody?
strategy? Please, who has strategy
Hello?
for passing triple A, please?
Hello, anybody that is writing what I'm writing, I can drop my number. Let's create a group that you can be reading at night. I'm writing tax, I'm writing advanced tax, SBR, and case studies. That's the three that I'm writing. So if you're writing same as me, you can be waking up at night and read
Please
this.
awake me. I'm interested.
I'm lazy. So please just write my number down so that you can chat me. Let's create that group and be serious. 081.
Please, I need
Let's check your
strategy
number
to
on the chat.
pass triple A, please.
I'm interested, oh. This
I'm calling
SBR.
the number. Just write it down. 081
Okay.
3075 2189. So please, we can create a group this week. Yeah, I've not been reading.
Talking about the strategy to passing AA, just buy the Apex summary notes. Trust me, if you can just read that summary notes and check the way they answer their question there, you pass AA. That was
Very,
what works
very
for me
correct.
anyways. Most of us.
Very correct.
Yes,
That
if you can buy Apex
Apex
summary notes,
is
trust me, you
everything.
won't write it twice. Just look at how they answer the questions there. You are good to go.
My dear, thank you very much. I've been trying to maneuver. I've been reading. It should be as if I've not even read anything. Like read. Honestly.
And also that AA, if you can,
Yeah.
you see that examiner's report.
Okay.
Me, that was what I used. So I wrote it once for the first time and I passed. But this last
Is the
guy,
class is the class over, please?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So much.
The class
I've
just
been trying
started
to read.
for the network.
Please, which one is examiner's report, please? And also, this AA is the Apex notes different from the lecturer's notes?
okay, what I mean by examiner's report, you know that Pathfinder, you know when they ask question, there's a way they answer it. Then after where the answer is, you see the examiner's report, what they were expecting the candidates to do, and the candidate did not do. Do you get? So that's what you just check. So that was what me I actually used though, and I passed.
Wow. That's good. It seems I will follow suit. Honestly, I've been trying to read others. You try to read SBI, at least you understand something under group account. And for tax, you know what to write. But for this AAA, honestly, if you read, it will be as if you have not even read anything. Maybe chapter 3. Then, if you move to chapter 4, it will be as if you have not even read that chapter 3.
I understand, right? As the name is triple A, that's why the thing is triple
So
O.
I will just. honestly speaking.
Don't worry, you will pass this diet, yeah? Just work on this too, you understand? Use the Apex
Amen.
summary note and then do the examiner's report. You are good to go.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
This man,
Instead of me to follow leader strategy, me, I will be reading 85% candidates attended this question, but the outcome was very, very poor.
that's their comments. The comment is all the time. That's what they give. You can never say you'll be getting below average. Average.
No, for comments,
Yes.
there are some comments that if student performs well, they used to say it now. If you check Pathfinder,
Do they sample people? Do they sample pick past students, or they just base their judgment on, because they provide solution at the time of immediately they finish exam? Are you aware?
yes.
So how do they make the comment? Is it after they have done marking, or when they are still marking?
No, you said they provide solution immediately. They are what?
Immediately after the last day of examination. That's when they go for solution. That's when they do the solution for Pathfinder.
Are you sure? I'm not sure that's it.
It's a conference. The conference listing. They all come to Lagos to do that. Like some people, some professionals.
And because when me I order Pathfinder, And the man that supplies it, he always say that Pathfinder is not ready because they are not done marking.
But they might not publish it until when they publish it.
Because truly, if you use that their comments, any comment that they comment that student actually perform poorly, they repeat those questions.
God will not shame us.
God will not shame us, but let's just know some basic strategies. For ICANN, there are some strategies that once you know it and you apply it, even if you don't really know the topic sake, you write to pass and you just put it because that's left for Nigerians now. It's not really reading, because if you see people that really know this course, they know what they are doing, they fail woefully. I can tell you. I have a guy in my center that he has been writing PM over and over again for like 4 diets or 6 diets. And this guy knows PM. He can sit you down and teach you this PM. So ICANN is just being strategic, knowing what they want and applying it. So that's what I just understand with ICANN. By the grace of God, I guess I've been writing and I've been doing, and I mean, I even understand anything.
At times, there are issues of stepmother, like tax lecturer will say, like Mr. Agbemidebe will say, my stepmother. There are issues of stepmother at times when it comes to result.
Issue of stepmother.
No, I can't really.
Tax lecturer.
Also, writing, because I know some markers, they mostly, the time that they used to mark is not enough, time factor. So they do complain that some students, their writing is not legible.
Okay.
For that writing, that is why it's very advisable that you use a black pen. If you use black pen,
these people, they will just be marking, because I think they used to give them
yes, in my center, the advice is use only black pen. Use only black pen, and that's how they told us to write. Once you write in the first page, don't write anything on that page. Like if you are answering question 1 should be on only that page. If you start any later, don't put question 2 there. So there are some principles, there are some guidelines that I feel those need to.
Mr. David, it be like I go start from you, because first of all, not to help my solution. AA way they talk about, it be like we go start from
this class still holding.
Maybe you have the number.
624. This guy, there's no any message from him.
That's just it on that triple A.
Another thing again, just attempt to type questions. Because even if you're not sure of the other, just attempt the 5 questions. It helps at times to gather marks. Just attempt the 5 questions you want to attempt. It helps.
Yes, I can agree with you on that. Don't leave any question on blank. At least put something down. You can mark.
And most importantly, make sure you answer question 1. Don't leave question 1 blank.
That question 1 they carry weight.
Even for SVR, that was
Especially now, question 1 is 40 marks.
I can't take that question 1 serious.
But in pilot question is 30 now. Is 30 marks. In pilot question.
First question is 30.
Have you not seen one set that has almost 60 marks add up? Question 1, is it not SVR or SSM?
Please, this pilot, what's the pilot all about? I keep hearing people saying pilot. What's it all about? Pilot question.
Maybe because of the new introduction.
It's from pilot question.
That's mock now.
the fact that that was so they had to like release pilots, like set out pilot questions for people to just use to practice ahead of the exam.
Yes.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Hold on, please come again,
It's
please. A lot of
because
persons
they
while we are talking.
syllabus.
Hello, guys, I'm back. Can you hear me?
The lecturer is back.
Okay, please, the lecturer is back.
So this class stopped for about 30 minutes ago. Hello, guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We
Yes,
can
we
hear
can.
you.
Welcome back, sir. Come.
Since when has the class stopped, guys? Please just let me know.
Over 20
More
minutes.
than 20 minutes. Oh.
It's not
Subhanallah.
30 minutes. It's just 20 minutes plus.
So I've just been talking to my screen alone. Gaskia, I was using all my energy to talk to
But
teach
you
you.
were not even here. You were not even here. We could not see you. You were
That's
out.
this now. So because I was sharing my screen, I'm not seeing the Google Meet screen to know whether I logged out or not. So because I was sharing my screen, so I didn't even know that this has been out. And I've thought plenty things. Okay, let's continue.
Oh, sorry, you start all over again. Sorry.
And some
So
of
the good
us
thing
were
is that,
praying that you come back.
thank God, one of you has to call me on phone to say what's going on. The moment I saw a call, that's when I knew something is wrong. Well, let's continue. This network, chai. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Where did you stop?
From the beginning, sir.
Tell me from the beginning. Where
We
did you stop?
stopped exactly. You say tell who you are addressing your report to. That's the last word we heard.
You are talking to us about the importance of Exhibit 5.
Exhibit 6.
You wanted to show us where the pressure comes from.
Okay, no problem. I would. Please let's mute ourselves so that it won't be recorded.
Hello, sir. Sorry, there's only people in the lobby. They said they can't get in.
I didn't get. What did you say?
There's some people that can't sign in. I don't know. They can't join the class.
Yeah, we asked them to join on YouTube. We can't accommodate everyone. Even if we accept them, it will still be 100, right? So people can't. Some of them can't even still join. But let me accept as much as I can, sure. Some of them they will still not be able to join, so there's no point.
Okay.
Okay, so let's continue. Can you all see my screen? Please confirm.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
You can see your screen.
Okay, you can see it, Abby. Let me just put this here. This I will know from this. So we're trying to understand the essence of Exhibit 6 and then why it is very, very relevant. So I was trying to highlight from Exhibit 6, you are going to identify your requirements. That's number one. Number two, from that Exhibit 6, you would know who you are addressing your reports to. Also in that Exhibit 6, you are going to know the current developments in the company or in your client's company. Also in that Exhibit 6, it will lead you to appropriate tools. You remember a topic we did on tools for case study analysis. Exhibit 6 will tell you the tools you are using, going by the requirements. So I now made important notes here. I said that please note that the examiner may not be specific about the exact tool to make use of. The requirements and the information provided for in the case will determine that. However, examiner may also be specific in some instances. Example, in this exhibit, the examiner mentioned contribution, positive contribution, and he also mentioned something like relevant costs, meaning that contribution and the relevant costing technique will be made use of. So I now went ahead to list each of those requirements and the tools that are necessary for use. First thing, requirement 1, let's read it. Requirement 1 says it stands for inclusion in an advocacy paper for the board's review and subsequent approval, soliciting government's expansion of the Nigerian development policy to accommodate the sector, given its considerable potential contribution to the national economy, and while identifying the incentives that will bring about the realization of the gains from the sector. So your first requirement is neither financial statement analysis, nor financial data analysis, nor business analysis. Or maybe you can even call it a business analysis, right? But it is coming in form of an article. So this is what your exhibit requirement 1 is talking about. Say an advocacy paper to solicit that government should include the sector. Which sector? The and sanitary sector in the government expansion projects of the national development policy. Incentives, potentials, and contributions. So this one we may use SWOT or PESTEL to analyze it. It's just like an article that we are using to convince the government to say this sector is a viable sector and they should include it in their national development policies. Requirement 2 is talking about financial statement analysis. What tool are we going to use? Trend and ratios. You may use one, you may use both, you may use either one of the two, and you may use a combination of the two. Requirement 3 is talking about financial data analysis. Evaluation of the two proposed products to show possible contributions towards the company's bottom line after taking cognizance of all relevant costs. Financial data analysis. So, and what tool are we using? Contribution analysis and relevant costing technique. So we have to evaluate the two proposed products, BioPad and BioDAP, to see whether they have a positive contribution. If they have, we would advise the company to go ahead and introduce those products. If they do not have a contribution, a positive contribution, that means it is not a viable product for them to adopt. They are not, let's say they are not, it's not one product. They are not viable products for them to adopt. But mind you, in order to come to a conclusion or to come to a positive conclusion, in this case, you are just going to be considering the costs that are relevant. Some costs may be given, but they are not relevant to these products. So you will disregard them if they are not relevant. So we are going to be using relevant costing techniques. Then the fourth requirement, requirement 4, is talking about an extract to be included in the company's annual sustainability report and your advice to the board on how to address the potential challenges, considering DEFCON's response to environmental and sustainability concerns, together with the letter from the Federal Consumer Protection Agency from the perspective of DEFCON's.
Somebody he has left again. Somebody should please call him.
Please call him. Oh, let's call him. Sharp, sharp.
Please, let's call him. Call him.
Is the network bad again?
He dropped the message that he lost network.
This one is serious, eh?
Good evening, all. How has been our day? Please, may I know the question we are treating, ma, sir? Please, I was on transit. I just reached home now.
May
Last
2025.
Last
Last
diet
diet.
question. Last
Ma,
diet.
Case
sir?
study.
Last diet.
2025.
Oh,
May
all
2025.
right. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Please, who have the Pathfinder for case study? The one that is up to date. Please help me with it. I'll put my number now, please. Help me send it. I don't have. Thank you.
You mean the whole booklet of 2025? Which one do you want?
The whole booklet, like the way they compiled Pathfinder from 2014.
Soft copy.
So
That should be
updated
soft
one.
copy.
Yes, soft
Okay.
copy. Soft copy.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Please, ma, sir, I heard someone said that we create reading group. I don't know. Maybe you can include me.
Yes, I'm the one. I just dropped my number now. So my number ends with 89. You can tell me
Oh,
I. Yes.
all right. All right. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. So, 30, 75, 18.
Hello guys, I'm back. It's me and Nigerian network today. So let's continue. Can you see my screen? Please confirm.
Yes.
Yes, confirm.
Okay, let's continue. Please, simply let's mute ourselves. If you're not talking, please mute. So these are the 4 requirements that the examiner has asked you to use or to work on. So I'm going to be providing an answer based on these requirements. So we're only done with the first, the exhibit 6. Exhibit 7, let me take it so that it can be faster. Exhibit 7 is talking about financial statements of Defcon Manufacturing Limited. So for 2 years, 2023, 2024. And you have the statement of financial position, statement of comprehensive income and profits, and profit or loss, and statement of profit or loss and comprehensive income. Hello, confirm. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yes,
hear you.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then, Exhibit 8 is giving an explanatory note. Giving an explanatory note to the draft financial statements. Let me take it as explanatory notes to the draft financial statements. The following notes are background information regarding the draft financial reports for 2024. In October 2024, Defcon introduced a new range of diaper and sanitary pads that are relatively cheaper models of the existing ones. This has increased the company's market share and created a more diversified customer base. Note 2. The board decided to outsource the company's payroll administration as a way of reducing its escalating fixed overheads. This has led to a significant reduction in administrative expenses. Exhibit 3, note 3. The company is presently experiencing liquidity squeeze. Hence, the board has decided not to pay cash dividends in the year ending December 2024 to its shareholders. In lieu of cash dividend, the board decided to give a share bonus of 1 share for 2 shares to the company's shareholders in October 1, 2024. That's bonus issue. And note 4, the management is contemplating a long-term borrowing to finance the company's proposed projects. So these notes are augmenting Exhibit 7, which is just financial statements. And you know, notes are very, very important, right? They give credence and credibility to any financial statements. So that's Exhibit 8. Now, Exhibit 9, new products development. This is very, very important. Because the reason why this is very, very important is because that one in particular is useful for one of our requirements. That is Exhibit 9. Exhibit 7. Okay, we did not finish reading this. I attach here with Exhibit 7 to 10 in connection with the assignments. Also, if you check your files, you will see details about the economy and the Nigerian business environment. So this you will see details about the economy and Nigerian business environment. It's talking about the present information. So it's just presenting it this way to make it look like a real business scenario, you understand? The Nigeria DAPA and sanitary pad industry, together with the company's response to environmental and sustainability concerns, all this should be able to assist you in drafting your reports. So Exhibit 7 and 8 is useful for which of the requirements? Let's go and add more to our notes. We have 4 requirements. So each of those exhibits will be directly useful for each of the requirements. So here, exhibits 7 and 8 is what we'll be making use of for financial statement analysis. Exhibit 9, which is what we are about to read now. This new products development will be useful for requirement 3. That is financial data analysis. Then this first exhibit, let's go back to our present. What exhibit is going to be useful for that? So that would be exhibit 2, 3. Yeah. Exhibits 2 and 3. Will be useful. While this last one, sustainability. Yes, exhibit 5. And the last exhibit, exhibit 10, from what we read the other time, will be useful for this. This is what we call analysis, right? So the information is very, very plenty, but you have to actually bring it down, water it down to what is relevant in each. So some of the exhibits might not, so does it mean that exhibit 1 is not useful? Exhibit 1 is useful for your cover page. Exhibit 2, is it, wait though. Yeah, exhibit 4 will be useful for introduction. So by the time we start solving, we'll understand better. But let's read our exhibit 9. That is where we left from. Exhibit 9. New products development. The board has just approved the proposal of the management to introduce 2 eco-friendly products into the market. BioPad, a sanitary product, is a sanitary pad model, and BioDAP, a DAPA model. Both the products are eco-friendly products made from bamboo. The BioPad is reusable. Products in this category are normally referred to as biodegradable because bamboo is naturally antibacterial and highly absorbent. Bamboo pads are soft, breathable, and an excellent eco-friendly option. Using reusable sanitary pads have several benefits, both for consumers and the environment. These include cost effectiveness. It's very, very cheap. At least in terms of production and also consumption. If you are saying cost effectiveness, we need to be looking at it from the point of view of the producer, looking at the products, the materials used in production. It will be cost effective. And also it saves money for the consumers. Environmental friendly, which is very, very important. You can reuse it instead of saying you want to just you use once and dispose, and it causes environmental degradation. So this one will reduce significant wastage. 3, LDR option. It is more LD for usage. And it will save users or consumers the risk of skin irritation and allergic reaction because of the materials used. Comfort, it is more comfortable. Support for women in need. So for those women that are in special need, it supports them the more. And customizable, usable parts will come in various sizes and absorbency level, allowing users to choose the best fit for their need. They will also be more discreet and quieter to change. The rising costs of living and inflation in Nigeria significantly impacted the prices of sanitary pads, despite higher initial costs. Eco-friendly options can be more economical over time and are better for environments. So that one is just telling you about the qualitative information about the introduction of those products. Now let's go to the quantitative part, the numbers, the data, selling price per pack. So these are information, these are data provided by the marketing team. Baopad, a pack containing 12 pieces, 1,500. A pack for Biodap, a pack containing 12 pieces will cost 6,000. Production cost to produce raw materials. The two products to be produced on the company's existing machineries. However, there will be need to buy a specialist machine to convert the bamboo into usable raw materials for their production. The specialist machine will cost 25 million and will have a lifespan of 5 years. Annual processing capacity of 60 tons of bamboo. You can see I'm making it easier. I'm highlighting the important data that we need. A ton of bamboo costs how much? 12,000 naira. Each ton of processed bamboo will produce 12,000 pieces of Biodap. 12,000 pieces or 3,000 pieces of Biodap. The machine will have no residual value at the end of its useful lifespan. It is projected that the company will be able to sell all units produced per annum. This is a very good projection. Other materials costs for producing each of the two products are as follows. Other material, which is aside the raw materials. So other materials per piece. For Biodap, we have 1510. For packaging materials, we have 150, sorry. And for packaging materials, we have 10 and 50. Marketing and distribution expenses. The company will incur additional marketing and additional expenses of 1.2 million naira, made up of 60% variable and 40% fixed. So the reason why I'm not highlighting the 40% fixed is because it is not relevant to us. Fixed costs are not relevant. Going back to our knowledge, our understanding of relevant costing in performance management. All of us passed through skills level before we got here. So that's why I'm not highlighting it's not relevant. These expenses will be distributed equally between the two products. So it is expected that these two products will displace two other existing products currently being produced by the company as follows. Biodap will displace an existing sanitary pad that contributes 250 naira per pack. We are going to consider this. It's like an opportunity cost because producing this will bring down this. So the contribution that we are getting from this, we have to factor it in our contribution and relevant costing analysis. The company does not currently hold any raw material inventory for the two products that will be displayed. So this is very, very important. Adipin, they currently have a raw material that is in production. We will lose that raw material because the raw material will be redundant. We cannot use them. So the only option is to displace those raw material to dispose them, which may also include some costs, or to scrap them. But in this case, there's nothing like that. Why? Because there is no raw material for those products that we are displacing. Production and marketing of Biodap. The marketing of Biopad and Biodap. The marketing director has advised that the available annual tonnage of bamboo would be split between 60 and 40% between the two products. So that's about exhibit 9 is very, very important. By the time we start to look at this, you understand better from the way we are going to be picking one, the figures, the numbers that I've highlighted one after another. So if I were you, in the examination, or you know what I'll be doing as I'm reading this exhibit 9, what will I be doing? I will be writing out the most important numbers. All those ones I highlighted, be writing them out. Selling price per pack, write it out, because you will not be allowed to write on your answer on your question paper. So be writing it out somewhere in your question. So apologies about that. So as you are reading it, so you are expected to be writing it out in your question paper so that you will not have to go back and be writing it all over. So just be bringing it out. And that's where your knowledge of performance management, strategic financial management is very, very important here. And these guys too, these guys are also important. Let me highlight them. Apologies, I have to pick a call. Okay, let's continue. So once again, you cannot write on your question paper. And if you would not be able to write on your question paper, it is not allowed, right? It's against the examination ethic. And these are things that we know now, even from school, you're not allowed to write on your question paper. So, and this is, we are still using paper and Bible now, according to for skills and professional level. So you may not be allowed. So, and the reason why I'm saying this is that in your answer booklets, in your answer sheets, as you are reading these, just making them out, it's very, very important. So let's take a look at the last exhibit, exhibit 10. Letter from Federal Consumers Protection Agency. So they are writing your company. Dear sir, unhygienic products, diaper and sanitary pads. Please to bring to your attention the complaints we have recently received from consumers in respect of your products. The consumers are experiencing itching after using some brands of your diaper and sanitary pads. These are the ones that your company introduced in the market 2 years ago, known as economy diapers and sanitary pads. So let's go to exhibit 9 to go and check. Are they the ones they are displaying? Let me see whether it forms part of the ones that they are taking out of the market. Another an existing sanitary pad accountable 250 per pack, and then currently being produced by the company as follows. Okay, we'll figure out that. So, but let's move on. Economy diapers and what? Sanitary pads. And to withdraw these products from the markets immediately. Otherwise, the agency will be left with no other choice than to commence action against your company. We have also commenced a nationwide compilation of list of customers affected by these two products and documentation of their claims. As soon as we have enough evidence and claims, we shall open discussions with your company on the payment of compensation to the consumers concerned. Accept the assurance of our highest esteem. James Ibazebo, Director General of FCPA. See, one of the agencies that I like a lot is this Consumer Protection Agencies, and they are indeed, taking it beyond the examination level. These are agencies that needs to be very, very, very active in the Nigerian market or in our economy. So as we have NAFDAC, that is making sure that we consume good products. We have these guys as well that make sure that consumers are protected and we are fairly treated in terms of pricing, in terms of the products that we use. And if there is any complaints, these guys will come into action to make sure that any consumer is fairly treated and you get the share of what is necessary by the consumer. I say they are very, very fast and very, okay, don't let me say fast. They are expected to take any action, any necessary action against any company that is found wanting in this case, as we have seen in this letter that is written to your company, Defcon Manufacturing Limited. So, and this exhibit will be useful for, like I said the other time, it will be useful for these requirements for. So we use exhibit 5 and also exhibit 10. So guys, we are done with reading of all the exhibits. We are done with reading the cases. And that is where reading is very, very important, as I've mentioned to you. That see, before you solve, read and understand what you are asked to do. Your understanding or your success starts from reading. So if you don't understand, you may be displaced and the time may not permit you to actually be going forth and back because you may just be disorganized. So now let's start solving. Let's start solving. So I believe that at least from all these things that we have said, we understand all our requirements, all necessary things that we need to know. And then the only thing now that is left for us is to now start solving the question. So guys, I want to see whether we have 1 or 2 concerns from the reading that we have done before I start the solution. So if you have any concern, if you have any question, please raise your hand. Let me just take maybe 1 or 2 persons so that we make it interactive. Okay, Abodun Yeluwatose, unmute yourself and ask a question. Go ahead.
Good evening. Thank you for the lecture. So my ask is it that all the case study examination of ICANN, exhibit 6 is always where the requirement is?
No. So it's not technically, it's not apparently exhibit 6. The first exhibit in your unseen will have the requirements. What if they have given you like 7 exhibits in the percent? What will be your first exhibit in the unseen? Is it not exhibit 8? That's where your requirements will be. Do you understand now?
Yeah, I get it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, who else raised the hand? Let me check. Onyi Chidebere, go ahead with your question.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, so the question I wanted to ask, when they send the pre-scene, when I read through it, it talked about more of a motor, it was more of the automobile industry, but I don't see that in the unseen. I haven't done case study before, so I'm trying to understand the dynamics. So I was of the assumption that that would be a continuous for the exhibit 6 to 10 to feed into the service sector under automobile, but I'm seeing something completely different, which has to do with products of something else.
Okay, so did you just join this class? If this is your first class, you'll be joining, right?
Yes,
please,
sir.
Yes. Who is disturbing us? Okay. So this is your first class?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, let me identify that person that is disturbing me. Abdullah Mohammed, should I remove you? Okay. So I'm trying to take you to the start of the question we are solving.
Okay.
So the question we are solving is not the person that they sent yesterday. So can you see what we are solving?
Oh, okay. Yes, sir, I do. So sorry. Yes, I did.
So we are solving a past question. So we started this 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So that question that they sent yesterday, I've not read it. That's the truth of the matter. Because I was preparing for this. So students suggested, if it's not even suggestion, they solicited that we should finish this for a better understanding, because that one that you have is not a complete information. We would have to analyze it, then now propose a suggested solution to complete it. So that would be most. This one is a real case. And I think maybe for the past 2 or 3 days, I've not had much time to start a case. I think maybe 2 days ago we did that. We were trying to do that. We'll start a case from the beginning and finish it, do the solution. That's what we are trying to do this time around before we start that on scene. So we've not started that person that just came out. So your question is answered, right?
Yes, totally, sir. Thank you.
Okay. I think that's all about it. Okay, Mohammed Abdullah. Why is your question? Abdullah Mohammed, do you have a question? Okay, I don't think he has a question. Because even your background is noise. So don't worry. Let's continue. So let's continue. So now I want to start our solution. Mind you, times number. So mind you, in starting your case study solution, the first thing you need to know is that there are 2 parts, right? Which is the report, which should come first, right? And the words, appendices, coming first. Coming last. So let me take you to can you see this? So I want to walk you through the careful steps to approach a case study question in the examination hall. So let's go through these steps one after another. By the time you get your question paper in the exam, the first thing you need to do is to do what? Identify your requirements. Do you understand? Identify your requirements. Start by reviewing the first exhibit in the unseen. This is where your exam requirements are clearly stated. Then number 2 is to do what? Under that is to say, understand what each requirement is asking before you begin, which is what we did. These are the requirements, 4 requirements. And your understanding of the requirement is leading you to the tools to make use of for each of the requirements. Do you understand? And also, not only the tools, the necessary exhibits that you are going to need to carry out those requirements. That's your first step. The second step is to say, structure your answer booklets properly. Page 1, start with your cover page. So let's go and start with our cover page. Let's assume those ones are actually not necessary. So this is our page 1, cover page. We've all agreed that this is an internal report from our first class. This is an internal report. And in an internal report, you have 4 things that you are going to be bringing here. So this is page 1, cover page. Just come here. Let's go back to one, I think the first introductory class we had. We mentioned, we walked ourselves through how a cover page of an internal report should look like? Yes. This is an internal report. Let me just copy this and bring it here. We have started solving, guys. We have started solving. So, and like I said here, the first thing from this step is to identify your requirements. And once you identify your requirements, the second thing to do is to go to your cover page. That is your first page of your answer booklets. So who are you writing to? In this report now, our report is going to the board of directors. Of Defcon Manufacturing Limited. Let me get the company's name correctly. Yes, DML. So now what's our title? So, and this is where your creativity now starts. You want to draft your title from your requirements. And that is why here we said the first thing you should do is to understand your requirements. Why? Because you are going to need that requirement to draft a title or a subject. A title or subject on your cover page. Do you understand? So that is where your first solution starts from. So now let's go back to our requirement that we have listed out. Requirement 1 is talking about advocacy paper to solicit for inclusion of DAPA and sanitary sector in the government expansion projects. Requirement 2 is talking about the analysis of financial statements. Requirement 3 is talking about introduction on introduction of new products. And requirement 4 is talking about sustainability analysis. So we are going to bring in those requirements to form our subjects. So let's say an analysis of the for 2020 24 financial years, evaluation of the proposed new products sustainability And let's just keep it simple. At least we have been able to bring in 3 of the requirements as our subjects, right? An analysis of the financial statements for the 2023 and 2024 financial years, evaluation of the proposed new products, and sustainability reporting of DEFCON Manufacturing Limited. This is simple. Prepared by, you can say, finance and accounts departments. And dates. Let's go and look for one date to use. Okay, so here, the date that your boss sent this email to you is on 17th of April 2025. So let's look whether it gives you a timeline. So I want you to submit to me a report on the assignment in what? In 2 weeks. What does that mean? So it means that the dates you will be imputing should be within that time frame. Between this 17th of April 2025 and this time that is asking you to submit. So let's put it at a week after that. So 17 plus 7 will be what? Will be 24th of April.
Of April.
So 24th April 2025. So this report is for internal use only. So you are done with your cover page, page 1. And according to the examiner, that is the only information he wants to see on your cover page. I say cover page, yes, on your cover page, which is page 1. Do you understand? That is the only thing that he wants to see. So, and what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? What it means is that I think from the marking scheme that I've actually had that I know about, cover page carries 5 marks. And you have secured 5 marks without even punching your calculator. Without punching your calculator. So that's cover page, page 1. So then let's move on. What is next? Someone is asking me a question, Abby. Someone is raising hand, Abby. Okay, let me attend to it. Darlington, Mr. Darlington, please ask your question.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Yes.
I'm a little bit confused, actually. So this report, I was thinking we are to address it to the person that gave us the assignment. And I'm now seeing addressing to the board of directors. Is it, I'm confused, honestly.
Yeah, so I think where your confusion is coming from, when I was actually saying this, I want to submit a report to me. I want you to submit to me a report on the assignment in 2 weeks ahead of the board meeting. So we know that ultimately this report is going to who?
To the board, actually.
To the board directly. So even if it goes to your, what is it called? To your finance director, you still submit it to the board. Do you understand? So, but perhaps maybe because this one, it says submit reports to me, you can say to the finance director and put your name from. But the way we have drafted this, we have drafted it from a point of view of a company that a department is now writing or carrying out assignments for the whole company. And that is why our prepared by is reading what?
The department, finance and account department.
Do you understand now?
Yes, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Because
Thank
if you accept here that is going to the finance director, what will be here?
It will be me, the Matthew guy.
Understand? So it's just the perspective. So it's just the perspective. So let's continue. That's a good question. I like that. So next thing, after you have drafted your words, your cover page, the next thing from our from our format is to actually design your executive summary. But you and I know that your executive summary, you cannot provide that now. So what are you doing? What you are doing is that you are leaving page 2 and 3 blank. Page 2 and 3 of your answer booklet, you are leaving it blank. And you are moving it to page 4. So assuming that you are in the exam hall, all those pages I'm leaving is for page 2 and 3 for your executive summary. Just write an header on that page 2 and underline it, executive summary. Underline it, executive summary. Can someone tell me the reason why we are leaving that page 2 of executive summary, page 2 and 3 of executive summary blank, or why? There is a specific reason for that. Can someone assist us? Why are we leaving it blank? Executive summary. Fine, it follows. Efe, please go ahead. If I have permitted you, go ahead. Unmute yourself. If it's not unmuting then. Dan.
Okay, the
Please go
executive. Yes. So can I speak?
Go ahead.
Okay, the executive summary is basically just like the summary of all the calculations. I think I feel like it's the summary of everything that we have done in the workings in the appendix. So it's the summary of everything. So we can't really like get the detailed executive summary unless we have done all of that first for us to have like a detailed executive summary. It's just like the result of everything.
Okay, thank you so much. I like that, but I needed a better and a more simple explanation. Chiri, go ahead.
All right, the executive summary is the summary of our main reports where we have written about the introduction, the main analysis, conclusion, and recommendation. Just the summary format.
So executive summary is the summary, as the name implies, is the summary of your main report. And where does your main report start? Start from introduction, which we have not even done. Proceeded to the body, which is the main analysis, conclusion, and what recommendation. And we have not done that. So there's nothing you are writing yet under the executive summary. And that is why we are leaving this blank. I hope you all understand now. Is it clear?
Yes,
No,
I
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Who is saying no?
Yeah, it's clear.
Sir?
Did you say no?
Yes, I said no, but let me say the reason why I said no, that I've not been clear. You know, looking at it, you find out that there is an executive summary. After the cover page, there's executive summary, and then there is main report. So when you now say that the summary, that the executive summary now contains your main report, is where the confusion came.
Okay, so let me state it again. Please listen. We didn't say it contains your main reports. We say it is the summary of your main reports. You want to summarize the main reports. So what we are saying, the reason why we are asking this question is that you are leaving page 2 and 3 blank. And we said why.
Oh, okay.
Because there's nothing you are writing there yet. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I understand. Understood.
So because there's nothing we are writing there yet, so you leave it blank and you move to where? You move to introduction.
Introduction, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. So this is our introduction. So we want to draft our introduction. So going back to our first class, what are the things that will be in our introduction? Let's go to our introduction. So we said this comes after executive summary and may start from page 4. As the name implies, with introduction, you give the reader a glimpse of what you are asked to do. Why are you writing this report? Your client's background, which in this case, it will not be necessary because we are writing to the same company that you are working in. So it may not be necessary. And what you have done and how you went about it. So we now give a framework to say you start by referring to the email sent to you or your boss. Bring in the requirements, the scope of the analysis, tools of the analysis, and lastly, you may reference the professional skepticism. Introduction is very brief and it does not require any skill to give an introduction of what you want to carry out. So it's very, very simple. So now let's start the introduction. So we said introduction is giving us a glimpse of what you are asked to do. So let's say SQL. So the email received on, is it 17th of April? Yes. (2025).
Maybe. What's the problem?
Someone has unmuted and he has forgotten. Please mute yourself. Thank you. The finance director. Our department is required. Why? Because we are writing it as though it is going out from the department. And the reason why I'm actually adopting this approach is for you to actually be very, very careful in the use of I, in case you are given external reports. Why? Because you are not representing yourself alone. You are either representing a firm in case of an external report, or you are representing a department in the case of an internal report. Do we understand better? Our department is required to carry out a detailed analysis of the financial performance of who? DEFCON. You can be writing, though, as I'm writing, you can be writing so that at least you get used to how a proper report is being written. DEFCON Manufacturing Limited. Let's go and pick some hints from one of the requirements. Okay, we are referencing this first. Draft review of the financial statements covering management performance and profitability. Covering management performance and profitability. Who is that disturbing me? Who is that? Okay. Profitability. That noise is distracting. Hola, Bitaiwo. You are the one disturbing me. Okay. Profitability, liquidity.
Baby. Wow. Oh, say.
Financial management. I think I should split this kind the way I did the other time. It makes my life easy. Yes. Apologies for those joining on YouTube, please. This will be, I just have to do this to save our time. Financial management and operational efficiency. You have referenced one of the requirements, but mind you, you have 4 requirements. So you have to also mention other requirements. So let's take them. We are also required to evaluate the proposed new, let me read the word they use, evaluation of the 2 proposed products, of the 2 proposed products considering possible contribution to show possible contributions considering relevant costs. You have also mentioned the second requirement, right? But you know we have 2 other requirements. Also, we are to give a report on the sustainability position of DEFCON and write, what's that first requirement? That one is very, very confusing to me. I don't know why the examiner will include it. It stands for inclusion. And write to the approval soliciting, and write to the, what are you writing to? Soliciting government's expansion of the national development policy to accommodate the sector, given it's considerable. Write to the federal government, I beg, on inclusion of sanitary pad and diaper industry. And diaper industry in their expansion plan. Or in the expansion plan of the economic policies. Okay, so you have mentioned the requirements here. So that's how to go about the introduction. You have referenced why you are doing this, which is your first paragraph, referencing the emails that you got. Then next, you mention the requirements. The next thing to do is to actually mention the tools that you feel it will be useful and be necessary for this particular case. We have considered trend analysis. That's the trend and ratio analysis, relevant costing and contribution analysis, in carrying out our evaluation. We have thoroughly examined the attached exhibits, data, and financial information at our disposal, carried out an in-depth analysis arrived at appropriate conclusions and prefer reasonable recommendations. So, to make it simple, right? This is a good example of introduction. It's a good example of introduction. So we have given us the background of what you're asked to do, the requirements of what you are doing, the tools that you have used or you are about to use, and then how you have gotten about it, which is the scope of analysis. The step to say, okay, you have considered all the necessary exhibits, the data, the financial information, and then let's even say financial and non-financial information. Financial and non-financial information. Because we have both at our disposal, carried out an in-depth analysis, arrived at appropriate conclusions, and provide reasonable recommendations for the board to consider. So me, I'm actually writing this right on spot, right? So you may come up with a different way of presenting your own introduction. Do you understand? So another thing we may want to actually put under our introduction is the mention of professional skepticism. Although the financial statements provided to us was not audited, as no mention of this was made. But there's no need to even say as no, you work in the company, you know. So, but we are just assuming in an exam scenario that this financial statement is not, because the examiner did not mention that it is audited. So you assume it is not audited. Also, the financial data that they provided, we do not know the source. The source of the financial data, that one that we are using for financial data analysis, the variation for contribution and relevant costing, data provided is unknown. Let's call it the source and what? And the assumptions. But that one is assumptions of the financial data provided is unknown. And that may place and that's okay, let's say that could limit the level of reliance to be placed on the financial results we have analyzed. So this is just a good example of what? Of professional skepticism. You have been skeptical about the information provided to you. Good. You have provided, you have actually done the necessary thing they asked you to do. But you have been skeptical in case anything changes. Unaudited financial statements is not reliable. Also, the fact that the source and assumptions that the financial data that they provided is actually sitting on or relying on is unknown. So it could be wrong. There could be something that changed. And that's why you are giving this, so that's just like a form of let's say it's being skeptical about the financial information and data that you have. So with this, you are good with the introduction. So you would have come across several introduction or several ways. So what you can just adopt one that fits in for you. But this is a good example based on the case that we are actually analyzing. So where your introduction stops, then move to the main body, main analysis. Let's go back to our step. This step is guiding us. It says 2, structure your answer booklet. Start with your cover page. Leave blank. Page 2 and 3, leave blank for your executive summary to be written later. Page 4, draft your introduction. You may adapt on the suggested solution if available. That is about that. So then the next thing is to tackle the requirements strategically. I said begin with requirement 1 or any other requirements you find easier. For each requirement, ensure you include 1, main analysis, conclusion, and what? Recommendation. After completing a requirement, go back and write the executive summary for it. Leave spaces for the executive summary of the next requirement. So we are going by that now to say how many requirements do we have? We have 4 requirements. that step is telling you that you should go by the one that is easier for you. So for us here, we all agree that this requirement is the easiest one for us to do. This particular one, requirement 2, is the easiest one. Start with it. Forget about the arrangement. Start with the one that is easier. If it is this one that is easier for you, start with it. So how do we start? Just start by putting up a heading. So say analysis of the financial performance of DEFCON. Manufacturing Limited. So we are now in the body. We are starting the main analysis, the body of the report now. And you are not writing maybe body of the report to say, yes, body of the report. No. You are not doing this. Just start by a header. And there's no need for you to now say requirement 1, analysis of the reports. No. That is not necessary. Just start with the header. Analysis of the financial performance of DEFCON Manufacturing Limited. And you start to analyze. So this is where you will now start to do your calculations. And let's go back to that place. We said for these requirements, financial statement analysis, what are we going to need? We are going to need both trend and ratios. So I will take my time to walk you through both. What is trend? Trend is one number, that is one figure in 1 year minus the other figure in another year, divided by the base. Then you present it in percentage form. If you do not want to present it in percentage form, you can as well present it in absolute value. So let me take you again. What is trend? Let's go back to our notes. Trend analysis, so you can understand better. This is trend analysis. Trend analysis is the process of comparing data over a period to identify consistent results or patterns. It helps in understanding whether performance metrics are improving, declining, or remaining stable. Do you understand now? So going back to our exhibits, we said exhibit what? Exhibit 7 and 8 will be useful for this. So when you go back to exhibit 7 and 8, this is exhibit 7. What we are doing here is that we are typically calculating a difference between the figure in 2024 and the figure we have in 2023. And I will advise you, if you are using trend, please limit your trend to income statement only. Do not calculate trend for statement of financial position. It will not be necessary, especially when you are using a combination of trend and ratio. So just limit it, because those ones is very necessary, very relevant to your financial statement analysis. And by the time we actually start to do this, we will start solving this calculation in our next class. We are going to just organize one more class for this, where we will solve both requirement 2 and requirement 3. And I will look for a time to actually look for a report on that sustainability reporting that I will draw for you, so that we are going to have a full solution before we start our pursuing of this current case. So everyone would be on a good page. That's what I'm going to do. So do trend for the financial, for statement of comprehensive income statement only. You cannot do trend. You cannot say you want to do trend on both the statement of comprehensive income items and statement of financial position item. It will be too stretched, and your time may not be properly and effectively managed, right? So what we will do next is very simple. This one, they only gave us 2 years. So which means our calculation will be 1. It will just be For revenue now, 2023 is 1,011, and 2024 is 1,315. We know that it is quoted in million, understanding, right? But we are presenting this in a percentage form. So as you can see here, you can see that the revenue is improving, right? So if you do 1011 minus 1315, you are dividing it by what? By 101, which is the base year. And that is what this one is talking about here. Key components of trend analysis, base year comparison. Often, a base year is selected and subsequent years are compared against it. Percentage change calculated to show growth or decline over the time. So that is what we are going to be doing in our next class. So I will be presenting this maybe in Excel for us to be faster. I might have even done that calculation for us so that we just move faster, because this one to me would be very, very simple. Our main focus is that financial data analysis, because that one will actually be producing or preparing a contribution analysis to advise the company whether those products should be introduced or not. Right? For the advantage of our next class, the revision class will start. I think I can see that the class is being set. I think you guys should be having SBR class tonight, so which will start by 8. And then apologies to our Muslim brethren, we have actually flew into the time for Maghrib and Isha prayer, so that you guys can actually do that before the start class. So on that note, we'll be drawing the curtain here tonight. Guys, apologies for all the network glitches that we have experienced. That was very, 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 very unnecessary for the network to have done us that way. But yeah, it is what it is. And at least we are able to actually achieve something with this class tonight. The next class, nobody will be telling me that he doesn't understand the question. Where are we getting this? Please, as we have analyzed it, go and read it more. I'm going to drop that solution nuggets that I made for you in the class. I will drop the initial one that I'm going to merge it and drop it. For those of you that will be asking about the recording, please, that YouTube is the recording. There's no need for us asking for a special record. That YouTube link is the recording. Just click on it and record. And please, if you are joining this class for the first time, please go through the initial 2 classes. So this is a combination of that. We have now 3 classes. You have to go through all the classes so that you can understand better before we start the pressing. It will save me stress when we start that pressing. And for those of you that are asking about, in fact, this concerns so many persons about when we are starting the pressing, the payments, the account details. Yeah, the flyer will be out between today and tomorrow. So we are going to drop it for you guys so that you can start to pay. So thank you so much for this class. Okay, let me see. Do we have any questions? Someone is raising a Pascal. Is it Pascal? If you are, please ask your question in 2 minutes. If you are raising your hand, do you have any question? If not, please put out that hand. Abraham, ask your question if you have any. Okay, I think I muted everyone. Sorry. Someone was disturbing me the other time. Okay, Pasha, you can go with your question.
All right, good evening. Please ask for a clarification on the introduction. So I noticed when you started this introduction, you in a one paragraph, you try to bring all the requirements there. Okay. Before the next paragraph, you are suggesting the sustainability or reports, anything we are going to use. Is it ideal to do it that way? Because I'm looking at it. Then another thing I want to say, when you finish the introduction immediately, are we going to enter the next page to start maybe the analysis of the financial? That's
no. There's no need for you to open another page. Start where your introduction stops.
Okay.
Just leave a line. Just leave a line and start.
Oh,
just leave a line and start. So, to your first question, you said whether we can start. Do we maintain another paragraph, another sentence? Please, just write it in a way that your work will be neat. You understand? Just write in a way that your work will be neat. You can adopt this method. So, you understand? You can bring all the requirements in one paragraph. Do you understand? So,
yes,
in
sir.
a way,
Thank you very much.
Just put it that way. Do you understand? Do you guys know the reason why ICANN do not provide reports for case studies? If you check the Pathfinders, they will just be writing those things, CAV, this thing. They will not provide that report. Why? Is because there are several ways you can actually present your report. So they don't want to limit students. To say if you do not do it this way, because the moment they provide reports now, so then we now say it's because it's not provided the way I can't provide their own. That's why you failed. No. So it's only a guide that they provide to you. So say the way I'm writing my own now, when I see another report that is not maybe it's writing in this form, the most important thing is that at least we understand these things. These things are practical. If you're an analyst, if you work maybe in a consulting, even in companies, right, you should be able to actually write a report on something as an accountant in 21st century, and not just after just punching numbers and the likes. So you have to be able to provide a report or an analysis of something, or maybe a numbers. Do you understand? So that's how it is. So it is not it's not a one-way, it's not a one-way answer. So the other guys, we will make the group open so that you can drop some of your questions. I'm going to communicate to you guys when our next class will be. It'll probably maybe be Sunday, because the Saturdays now for the revision classes is booked. We'll be having all this tomorrow, advanced tax, I think maybe like 6 hours, and you'll be having maybe a SFM at night. So that one is fully booked. So I'm going to look maybe Sunday to do this before we enter, because we have to start our person on Monday on failing day. So we finish this on Sunday. So that's what we'll do. Yeah. So thank you so much for this class, right? Thank you for your composement. Thank you for your composure. I wish you best of luck. Go. So for those of you that will be joining revision class, please go and join. And I will ask them to give you 10 minutes for the people that will be performing their prayers for Salah for Muslim Project. So thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of it.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless you.
Thank you,
sir.